Okay, well, today's run, I'm in Raglan. I'm going to head up towards a place called Penrhos and through it, and then close to Monmouth, and then retrace my steps. So again, probably most of this video will just be the outward journey here, and I won't bother with much video on the way back unless there's anything of interest. Now, I haven't really run a Raglan before, and I've plotted the course relying on LWA, OS Maps and Garmin popularity data. So this yet may be a hideous decision. I'm about to find out the hard way. So I'm about to set off now, and I'll add some video in a little while. Well, we'll file this one under bad ideas. As I said at the beginning, there was just now I've just had a problem with the footpath not there, just absolutely missing, and I've just come to my one left turn now, and there's signs are saying the footpath is closed for 6 months, and that was the 14th of January. So I'm trying to reroute on the go, but this is looking like it's going to be a bit of a washout. I'm really quite disappointed. Closed footpaths, okay, fair enough, if work's being done I can live with that, you know, these things have to be done. But in the one case, the footpath just wasn't there. Fence, land, nothing. So, don't really understand what's going on around here. Where the footpath was has been a new development of houses, so it looks like, I don't know whether they've had permission to close the footpath or they've just built over it, but it's not there. I just come up to Raglan Castle now, in the background, just about to turn off, and no joy. Right, so I'm going to hang up here now and see if I can go any further. Let's see what happens. So here's the one footpath, and there's a sign that's closed, so I'm going to try and find another way round, but I'm not looking that I'm going to get much joy. So I'm going to go back down this way towards Raglan Castle, and according to the map there's a footpath on the other side of Raglan Castle that may join me back up to where I need to be. But if not, this might be a bust. I may have to abandon this and go to my other plan, which was Abergavenny, which is a bit of a nightmare. I'll see what happens now. Well, what a disaster. 5k in, I am left Raglan. What is obvious is that the A40 here messed up a lot of footpaths, and even though there are crossings, don't get me wrong, but a lot then when you cross, the footpath on the other side has just disappeared. No stiles, just fences, nothing. So at the end of this I'll post up 2 images, one of my planned route and one of the actual way I went, and I have made so many detours. Now, according to the map I should be on Penner Park Road now, and I should follow this round, and at some stage there's a footpath leading off it which will get me to my first checkpoint, Tregaer, which I think was only 4k in on the original plan. It was likely now to be more like 8. Now I need to do 33k today to hit my weekly target, but the amount I've already done, and I haven't left Raglan, is insane. So I'm going to hang up again now. As you can see, if I flip this, what happened, it's supposed to be a trail run, it's not particularly a trail at the moment. So hopefully next time I come in now with a video, we'll have something a bit more interesting. We shall see. Right, major annoyance here is that I'm by a footpath sign. I'm going to flip it now. There. And on the other side I couldn't see it. Absolutely no sign of it whatsoever. So I don't know whether on the way back I risk going down there. There was a house there, I think it might be on the other side, but it was just not clear. And I'm not particularly keen on going through people's gardens. I'm not quite at Tregaer yet, which was marked as 4k on my route. I'm currently close to 8. So the problem I've got is I'm hideously over target. At least I know now when I get to Tregaer I can just follow my route back and avoid all this faffing about. It's really frustrating, and does show us a bit of a problem we have around here with maps and footpaths. but the map doesn't always reflect the situation on the ground. And in some cases in Raglan, it looks like it is seriously looked like almost a decade out of date that this footpath has gone. Which of course is a problem when you're going somewhere new and looking for a place to go. Now this is primarily an agricultural area, not a industrial, post-industrial. So yeah, I do appreciate farmers and footpaths and all that. And normally, I will be honest, farmers are very, very good normally at allowing public access on footpaths. But there's just problems today all around. Now I'm about to, in the moment, apparently there's a right turn which will take me on a footpath through and then lead me back to Tregaer and back on course. But as you can appreciate, I am very, very dubious that this path probably exists. I might come back here in the summer when that one footpath is supposedly reopened. It said 14th of January it was closed for 6 months, which leads to a July opening, which is great because August I tend to do quite a bit of long distance summer work. So perhaps August I'll come back here and use this activity to bypass all the problem areas. But yeah, it's been a bit of a disaster today. It's a real shame. I was looking forward to today. This is a new area, so I've never been, and if I flip the camera again, it's absolutely beautiful. See, nice country road. But I don't want country roads, I want trails, I want ground and grass under my feet. And I knew today wasn't going to be hills because this is quite flat, only about 40 metres above sea level. At the start, so God knows where I am now. I have a quick look. I'm 65 metres. Okay, I shall give up now and we'll see what happens to this footpath in a minute. Well, on the minus side, I'm still not Tregaer, and I'm near coming up to 8k, so I'm 4k over target. But, and this is only about 10 minutes after the last update, I'm finding a proper trail. Admittedly, muddy as buggery, but yes, so I'll just stop the camera again. So yeah, this is the back route past Llanvihangel towards Tregaer. It looks like in a little while there should be a left turn, which will be marked on my watch, and that should get me back on the course I plotted. Notice the emphasis on the word should, because nothing has gone right today. Seems to have picked a terrible choice of route, even though it is quite nice. And there's a bit of climb, I wasn't expecting this. The route I planned had only about, oh, come on, find me again, there we are. Right, the route I planned was marked as only 300 metres of climb. And I can do that in 12k at home. But today was more about exploring and finding new places. And I've certainly done that. So hopefully the next quick update will be me actually at Tregaer and back on course. And hopefully no more footpath closures. And if that's the case, I'll have to plan accordingly where I turn back, so I don't end up doing a marathon today, because I'm already about 4k over on a 35k planned route, and I only need to do 33. And to be honest now, I've gone all grumpy now, and unless it really improves, I'm probably not going to enjoy today as much as normal. But here's to nothing. Okay, so back on course, and what's really annoying is I just went past the exit, well, the entrance then or whatever, to the footpath I was supposed to come up, which would have saved me about 6k, and it's not marked as closed on that side, so if I'd come the other way I'd have gone down to a closed footpath, but never mind. I'm now back on course and heading towards Tregaer. So today's challenge is going to be, how many K am I going to go today before I hit another closed footpath or forced diversion? And then I have a screaming heavy tantrum in the middle of the road like a child. We shall see. Okay, but it is still beautiful. I mean, look at this now. Instead of stepping in mud, let's try and flip the camera. There we go, and there's the footpath up here. It's really thick brown clay mud as well, so really tires the feet. So yep, there's the footpath. Let's see how I go. I shall see you in a little while. Well, at the risk of tempting fate, I'm back on course. I had just hit the first checkpoint, Tregaer. Now Tregaer on my route was about 4k in. I'm at 9 because of detours. So I'm already 5k over. I'm not going to risk the footpath that's marked open on one side because I know my luck. It'll be an issue. Or at least I don't think I'm going to risk it. Depends really how far I need to cut. It doesn't really cut a lot of extra distance off for me. Right, okay. And now I've got to work out where this footpath goes. According to the line I'm on it, but I'm not seeing the yellow signs, I'm not seeing any styles. This hang on, my gimbal decided it doesn't want to focus on me. I don't blame you. Right. I'm on the wrong side. I can see the style. So, okay, here we are, Tregaer. It's actually, if I do that, it's actually quite nice. See, it's typical rural farmland Wales in Monmouthshire. I do believe that's the style there. Looks like a style. So remember, let's have a look where my next checkpoint is. After Penrhos, I've marked one at... Oh, after Tregaer's Penrhos. And then after that, Dyke Footpath, Llanvihangel. Can't remember which one, there's quite a few Llanvihangels around here. And then the turnaround in 13k, but I think I'm going to be turning around a lot earlier than that. Mainly because I have made an absolute mess of trying to find the route again on these routes. So here you go, a little bit of a beautiful, peaceful agricultural South Wales. That's where I've just come from. And hopefully next update will be at Penrhos. Well, I had to open my big mouth, didn't I? They're going to say, what do you mean? Well, other side of Tregaer, you go up through and there's a farm and there's stiles and they mark public footpath, and then all of a sudden the path disappears and you've got lock gates and warning signs. Problem is, of course, is it, you know, being restricted unlawfully, or is it a genuine redirection of a path? And the fact is that maps, I mean even OS maps, can often be hideously out of date when it comes to footpaths. And my Explorer is shown as a path. Let's have a look at I did buy myself for a year, thanks to the LWA, subscription to the OS Maps app. And yes, that's showing a path, same restricted, so but that should mean it should be, normally that means that it's with, you know, permission of the landowner. But yeah, okay, so I'm going to head back to Tregaer, and then I found another detour. Should have gone to Epitaph. I was waking up this morning, I had a couple of routes planned. One was Llanvihangel and up round the waterfall country. Another one was Glenheath and a bit further over there. One was, I was seriously considering wrecking the 50 mile that I'm doing in April. I mean wrecking, it's all liches local. The recce I was about to do was some Abergavenny around the Blorange and Blenafon, which is home territory for me. and I think I decided against it because, you know, it's where I live. I know the area. So I thought, oh, let's go Raglan, let's go somewhere different. Let's go somewhere interesting. Let's see new sights. Yeah, closed footpaths. Missing footpaths. So back to Tregaer. Trying to put my bloody phone in my pocket. I'm feeling miserably. Never strap on. Okay, so I'm going to hang up, and at some stage you may yet get another video when I'm back on course again. Right, I have no idea how to record anything then, so I'm going to duplicate this, and if I find that I have, I'll just delete the one. Anyway, hit Penrhos, supposedly 7k, or more like 14. Time is 3 o'clock. It's dark at 6, so I don't really want to be out much longer. So I've got my head torch, that's not a problem. But it looks like what I'm going to do now is just head another 7k out now. I'm basically going to be a bit more cautious and actually use Garmin Explore to guide me now and not rely on this route. I'm not sure if I plotted this using the OS Maps app. I can't remember how I plotted this. Oh, that's nice. Hang on a minute. Buddhist centre. Ah, that's nice. Quite a peaceful little place. To all my Buddhist friends, you might know about this. If you don't, there you are. Okay. So, keeping on back roads to make it a bit peacefuler. I'm now going to head to try and jump back on the route a bit further on. If I'm lucky, I'll make it to Llanvihangel, Ystern, Llewern, which is its full name. I think that'll take me up to about the distance, and then I head back. But yeah, this has been a bit of a farce today. Never mind. Okay, I'll catch you later. Right, I am approaching Llanvihangel, Ystern, Llewern. And I've just spoken to a lady at the one place, my battery level there, coming up now, and she confirmed that it is a bit of a problem with rights of way around here. She said that large amounts of them are closed off, are not accessible, and that as a result is made painfully obvious by the amount of faffing about I've had to do today to get anyway. I just put my power bank now. I'm going to plug my camera in, get some extra power. So excuse the waving about while I get my lead. Anyway, so like I said, I'm off to. I just found the cable. There we go. Right. Hey, lead plugged in. Yeah. So should be able to push the button now and hopefully things will start to charge. Oh yes, I got a battery charging indicator, that's what I want to see. Yeah, so I'm on my way to, excuse the meaningless chatter, let me just flip the camera so at least you get a view of something in my ugly mug while I'm talking. There we go, right, so I'm heading towards Llanvihangel, Ystern, Llewern. Whether I reach it, I don't know, because I've used a significant amount of distance getting here, 16k when there should be more like 10. For a 35-mile route I should be going another 7k on, but I'm not. It's going to be more like another 3 or 4. And on the way back I'm definitely going to avoid footpaths and things like that. I'm going to go back via B roads, take a more direct route, because I have spent way too much time today navigating rather than enjoying, and it's ruined the experience. But it's interesting that locals are even saying that the Monmouthshire's rights of way around here are in a very poor state. It's a real shame. Beautiful area, and so a place where walkers should be able to come and enjoy some fantastic scenery. You know, it's beautiful. In the distance is a mountain. I guess that's the Skirrid or the Sugarloaf. I'd have to look on the map. It's definitely, because this is quite a flat area. If I look now at my elevation, I started at 41 metres above sea level. I've only done 200 metres climb today, and I'm at I'm 96 metres, and apparently according to this I'm just over a K away from Llanvihangel. That's the Llewern, so I'll probably go past it, halfway point, have a sausage roll, have a big drink, and then head back. And like I said, I'm not going to take any footage of the way back because it is literally just retracing steps, and it's going to be B roads. It literally is no point in cataloguing that. But yeah, that's the problem. It seems to be if you go up into the beacons, you know, especially areas like near me in South East Wales, and the footpaths seem to be, I've complained about them in the past, but the footpaths do seem to be in a slightly better state than they are around here. Yes, there are missing paths, but they're a lot rarer. And today, talking to that lady about footpaths reminded me of the cardinal rule I have when I'm doing this. So if I see someone and I'm not 100% certain the right way is what it says it is, I will deliberately stop and ask. I'd rather find out for certain than have someone a bit nasty and threatening, you know? And I don't think I have so far. If you're polite to people, they polite back. Like I said to the lady then, that the path I'd plotted looked like it went through a garden, and it did, basically. But like you said, the point was, with these rights away in this area, they were to link properties for things like postal service and stuff. So they do take routes, you know, quite close to people's property. But it's still a bit nerve-wracking. Some people can be quite protective, and I don't blame them in these times. Some strange long-eared bug with the Camry bandana on, arsing around with it. Okay, right. It's now telling me to take a right. My watch just says take a right turn, and if I flick the camera, come on, there we go. There she is. There's the right of way. The yellow tipped sign. So hang up again, and you'll probably catch me in another half hour complaining about another terribly plotted route. Okay, not far to turn around now. But what's interesting is, as I head up towards Llanvihangel, is you start to see the terrain getting a bit more hilly. I mean, it's not Beacons hilly. These hills are possibly 200 metres above sea level, if that. But if I flip the camera now, by pushing the button correctly, there we go. If we look over there and over there, you can see these hills. We're starting to get into more trail terrain then, but I haven't got far left now. I'm gonna probably head to just the other side of Llanvihangel. Now Llanvihangel, apparently according to my upper head point, is a couple hundred metres. This is probably it. My watch is saying I've done 17.87, so I'm probably going to take it at 20 and then turn around. It's about 13k back. That should take me to 33. It's a weekly target, and I can write this one off as a lesson. So the fact is, there's no really easy way to virtually reconnoitre a lot of these trail paths and everything, and if they are closed, it's not always given that they are closed. So a lot of times you're just relying on word of mouth. If you're lucky, you might find a website with some listed closures, but on the whole, what they just tend to do is stick a sign on it and you find it when you're there, which can be a little bit of a problem. Right, so I'm now back on offers Dyke Path. Now, I get the sneaking suspicion I've been here before, and I don't know why. I'm getting a lot of deja vu about this route. This is interesting. I don't know if it just looks somewhere similar to where I've been before now. I'll have to wait till I get home and look on my Run the Lies route planner. But it does look quite familiar. Now I did come up from Pandy towards some of these churches up around here once. So I wonder if I have at least traversed this bit. But possibly it's just this old brain's neurons misfiring and telling me things that's not true. Joys of getting old. Right, okay, so I sneakingly suspect this is going to be my last update because I've literally not got far to go now before I turn around. But in passing, so I'll do a full probably closure when I get to the car. It's a bit sad that a lot of this route is not particularly well signposted or maintained, and like I said, I'll include the images. What I'll probably do is when I post up the thumbnail like I normally do for these videos of the activity, I'll put an inset picture showing the actual route I've taken. I mean, the turnaround point, actually, to give some idea, if I'm about to turn around now, the actual turnaround point I plotted, which took me 35k, is still 6k away. So, you know, there's a lot of issues I've had today, and even more. There's a church. Yes, I think I have, and I'm sure I came here in a couple of years ago, but the route I did was from Pandy, and I went up the side of Pandy, and I'm sure that this church was a turnaround then. So I'm going to take a little detour. I know it says turn back. I'm going to take left, take some photos because it is beautiful, and I'm going to have a look. Yes, I am 99% certain that this is where the turnaround point was my Pandy route. Yes, this is exactly the same place. This is cool. So that's why I had some deja vu, because from here when I did the route, this wasn't quite turning on. I did go a bit further on. I went up through that area. There you go. I'm not going to go inside. I'm not religious at all, if anyone knows, but I do respect the sanctity of these buildings. Maybe not for me, but for others. But absolutely beautiful building. And like I said, this is the beautiful thing. Ooh, Toady Cat. That they opened the church. I'll show you the sign. Defibrillator. Absolutely beautiful. So yes, I have been here before. Hello, puss, puss, puss. Very suspicious cat. Don't blame me, puss. Yes, so and poo bags as well. Wow. See, I joke about there's too many people on this planet. There is, because we live in such large groupings these days that it's only when you look at small villages and things, how they do things so differently, and things like this can be put in place and left and don't get vandalised and damaged. I swear we as humans are meant to live in groups of like 100, 200, cities and everything. Just absolutely ruinous. So, okay, back on the route now. Like I said, now I'm definitely going to hang up because in a very short while, let's have a look what my distance is at. My distance is at 18:31. I think at 19 and a half I'm going to turn around and come back. That should get me to 33. So hope you enjoyed this little wander with me. It's been a bit of a it's been an interesting dynamic, isn't it? I mean, we found out that the trials and tribulations of trusting maps, particularly when paths on the ground bear no resemblance to paths on a piece of paper or a computer screen. But it's been relaxing, and after all the stress I had in Raglan, I'm actually quite chuffed that I made it to here. And I think what I'll do is that if I do turn around and if I don't quite hit my 33k target for the week, I'm not going to stress it. I've done 20k walking this week. I went out with Philippa yesterday. I'm parking down. I'm hoping he'll put up some video of that. I can always make it up again tomorrow or next week. I can always say, right, okay, I'm 2k under this week, I'll do 2k over next week. So okay, this is definitely the last once I get back to the car. I don't see any point now. Have fun, enjoy, and speak to you later. Okay, the Epitaph. Got a little bit of drink left, so I won't be coming back to Raglan again, unfortunately. It looks like the path situation is just very, very poor. I finished just under my weekly target, but 800 metres short. I normally try to aim for 80k a week. So I'm not really going to stress too much about it, but it was annoying. I did more U-turns than Ystern. And even when, like I said, the resident I was speaking to said that 50% of the paths around there were blocked or inaccessible or just, non-existent even. It's really frustrating when you come to a new area like this to explore, and it mars it a bit because I'm spending more time replotting alternate routes and trying to work out where I want to go. It was a nice surprise that I have actually been to Llanvihangel as the first I went before, but I was on Llewern Gifford, which was a lot easier. The paths were a lot easier marked. It was the Offers Dyke path, which is I did jump on towards the end of this as well. So do I come back to Raglan? Possibly in the summer, perhaps, if some of the paths have been reopened. But I am going to look now at Plotter Route and Garmin Connect and OS Maps and look at the path data around here, because I don't think a lot of it actually gels up with what's on the road. So with that, I'm back in the car. I'm about to go home, have a bath, chill, and get ready for work tomorrow. See you at the next one.